Hello, hello. So, tonight's my YouTube appreciation. Hey, Kristen, long time no see. How are you doing? I'm trying to get to the channel so I can get the link. And I hope this doesn't act up. Hey, Rebecca. So, here is tonight's YouTube personality appreciation. This is Llama Monster. This is his channel. He games, he takes us on walks, he's corny. He's also from West Virginia, and I like him. He's funny. So I'm putting him in tonight. I am sorting my junk. I really can't say it's junk. It's crafting supplies. So how are you ladies doing this evening? I am yet to test some of these pads out because I think some of these might be dried out. I'm still sorting. Trying to get my crafting haul. See, this one here is nice. It's a washable ink by Melissa and Doug, but I think these pads are dried out. I think I got those at a yard sale or someplace. I don't know. I have no clue. Heard what? You did? Well, congratulations. Did you have a baby boy or baby girl? I did not know you had a baby. Babies are fun. Look what I found. 2 new achy jiggers. Distressing things. I'm so happy I have 3 now. Set these over here for now. I bet you're excited. I remember the days of having babies. Oh boy. I'm trying to empty out this little plastic container and get this organized. I don't even know where that came from. How a tissue got in here, I have no idea. Well, congratulations. You will so spoil this one. You will so be strict with this one. You know, it's funny. My daughter has 4 kids, and it's hysterical because I don't know if you've seen the commercial. Ooh, that ink didn't have a lid on it. Where you see the commercial that they're strict with the first baby and then they let up. That is so hysterical because my daughter's husband laughs because my daughter did just that. Oh, well, that's sweet. What did you name her? Because you see the commercial. I don't know if you've seen it or not, where this woman, like, at first my daughter was like, she made everything fresh from the bullet for her kids. Her kids couldn't have no food unless it was organic. They weren't allowed to have any junk. They weren't, you know what I mean? Like, she was so strict on their nutrition. Well, by the time she got to 4, she don't care. I mean, she's still good with them, but she's just not as bad because she read all these books and I kept telling her, you're going a little overboard. I know you love your kids, but you got to lighten up a little bit. She finally did, but it's funny. But that is so awesome. So these are my new inks I haven't tried yet. I'm going to pile these up over here. Well, I don't want to pile them up on that because these I use. Move these over here, and I'll put the inks here. I'm trying to make room for everything down here. Oh, I guess still got a lot of books to get rid of. I don't know if that's dry or not. Some of these I'm going to have to check. I know these little ones aren't. These little ones are still good. I like these because they're stackable. Look at all these cute little colors to play with. These ones here, I'm not sure if they're dry or not. I have to check those ones out. And not sure about this Hampton art either. And these ones here, I'm not sure about either. I know that my Rangers are all good. And here's my extra pads. We'll put them over here so I know exactly where they are. Put these over here. I'm rearranging crafts tonight instead of actually crafting. Oh, I got some stamps down here too. I'm telling you, moving stuff into another room is about as bad as moving into another house. Trying to rearrange everything is crazy. I haven't opened this yet. My brayer. I seen somebody use this for paint. They were doing some kind of paint on their channel, and they were going over journaling cards, and they used this, and it was really cool what they did with it, because when I got it, somebody asked if I had a gel plate. I'm like, no, I really don't. I'm not ready for that yet. I don't know if I want to go that area yet. My husband wants to, of all people. He's like, I want to try the gel plates. I said, well, have at it. It's not something that really crossed my mind to try yet. I'm still working on other stuff. And then here's ink pads I got off of Elle's. She had these Stampin' Up! Colors. I like having a variety of colors, which is always nice. So we'll put this over here. This is just a piece of paper. No clue. And this here, I think, is more, this was a set. Yeah. This was a set of stamps I had with some cards. If I want to make cards, I love stamps. I think stamps are such fun. You know, it's funny. My daughter didn't have a middle name picked out for my last granddaughter. And when I was in the hospital, I told her that if I would have had another girl, I had another name picked out. Because I have a Kristen, too. I have a daughter named Kristen. Spelled just like your name. And then my other daughter's name's Jade. And people thought I picked her name out from Santa Barbara or something, because some soap. I'm like, no, I picked her name out from the movie Endless Love. Brooke Shield played Jade in the movie, and I just really love the name. Way before I thought about having kids. And Kristen was funny because I had Jenna picked out, but then I don't know, it was weird. It's like my subconscious. I was up all night because I was having problems laying down with her. I carried her so low. Everybody thought I was going to have a boy, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think it's another girl. I just couldn't picture myself having a boy. But I kept getting cramps right in the part, you know, where you do a split, that muscle right there in your leg. So I couldn't lay down. So I was sitting up that night, and it's like, you know, you're reading a book, but you're not really paying attention to it type of deal. And I think the name was in my subconscious because when she was born, I still wasn't for sure what her name was going to be, but I did like the name Rochelle because her dad named his Mike, but he didn't want to have the middle name Michelle because it didn't sound right with the names we had picked out. So, I don't know. Just Kristen came to me in the hospital, and I said, "We'll just call her Kristen Rochelle." I like that name. So then I come home, and it was so weird because I had picked up just this random book I had laying around my house. It was one of those skinny Hardic ones. My aunt used to give me bags of them, and I really didn't like reading those books unless I didn't have nothing else to read because they're not my favorite. But I picked them up, and it was like the name Kristen was in that book. So I think subconsciously I picked the name up out of that particular romance book. And there was also a girl that I went to school with that I liked the name Kristen. I always thought it was a pretty name. So it kind of like was a combination of both. And then I told my husband if we had another child, I love the name Justice, but Justiss. I think that name is absolutely awesome. So I told my daughter when she was trying to pick out the middle name for Kylie, I said, if I would have had another girl, I would have named her Justice Nicole. And my daughter took the name Nicole. So she called her Kylie Nicole. So that's where that came from. Well, hello there, Priscilla. Hey, Beam, I was just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. I was like, look, I got these pads off of L's. I got my Stampin' Up! Pad colors. All these nice mixtures of color pads now. But it's funny how we come up with the names that we pick out for our kids, you know? Hey, TPG. I'm glad you came in showing some love. And I have no clue where the sparkling number 2 came from. I have a sparkling number 2 that came out of my stamping plastic bag. But I got lots of colors now of Stampin' pads. I'm so excited. So I'm going to have lots of colors to play with this year. So, well, hello, Absolute Cannabis. I remember you. I met you in that one stream, that one night I was in it. I can't think of the name of his stream off the top of my head. But it was all through JT. And look what I found. Woo! Look what I found. Look how pretty this is. And it's so soft. Hey, Texas! Oh, I love stamp pads too. So I found this when I was out, and I love the cover. You will never believe where I found this. I think this is so cool. When you open it up, it's not an old one. It's a 1990 or 2018, I mean. But it's got the beginning where it has the contents, and it's got the regular ledger pages. Walmart website, people. It's got 160 pages in it, but I love the cover. I don't care if it's old or not. I love it. I am doing good, thank you. You know, last night was funny. I actually have an account in Pal Talk. When Yahoo went down, I don't know who all ever chatted in Yahoo, but a lot of people that I know from Yahoo escaped into Pal Talk when you know, because they killed the chat, because Pal Talk's actually free too. If you go into it, you can use it for free, but if you're like into camming and stuff, then you have to, of course, pay. I think it's like a yearly fee or something like that. It's been a while since I've been there. So I go to sign into my account last night. First time I had been back in probably like 2 years. And because I have my friend list on there is huge. I got like hundreds of people that I got to know through there when Yahoo shut down. I go into this British chat room where they're playing music because I like doing the trivia. They run trivia bots, and you can sit there and guess the answers to questions, and they give you hints, and it's just fun. I like doing it sometimes. I got dotted. Some Brit was drunk on the mic, and he kept telling me to turn my cam on. And I was like, I can't turn my cam on because I was upstairs. I wasn't down here, and my cam is down here. And he goes, oh, everybody has a cam that make excuses. I'm not making excuses. I said, I actually do YouTube, and my cam is downstairs. And he dotted me for talking back to him. Can you believe that? And then like 10 minutes later, he undotted me because I was just sitting there. I wasn't really chatting. I was doing other things at my desk. And he said, oh, we'll just give her another chance. So give me another chance. I didn't even do anything the first time. I said, is this how lame chat has gotten since the last time I've been here? But he shut up after that. But you could tell he was drunk. I'm telling you, them drunken Brits, you got to watch them. But I do enjoy Pal Talk sometimes. I actually have a room there, but I haven't been in it in forever. But I love that journal. It even has a new smell to it. But I don't know. I think it's nice to try different places to go chat with people. But it was fun playing trivia. The trivia bots are fun on Pal Talk. They're hard on some of the answers. So I'm preparing my law book pages that I tore out of a book, which are falling apart, for some tags. But this is how I do it. I have to cut the sides down so that it actually will slide through my Big Shot because the pages are too wide. So this is what I do sometimes at night in front of the TV. When I'm not playing with my Big Shot, I'm cutting down law book pages because people wanted them gutted and they just wanted the covers. So I decided to turn the pages into something else. And I really, really love these law book pages because they come from the 1920s and the 1950 law books, and they're so cute for people who are new to the channel. They have these tiny little keys in the words, and they look really, really cute on tags. So I need to make some more. Every time I make them, I sell out of them. And I'm like so far behind, like I owe a person a set right now. I'm almost finished with hers. I got one more set to do because I do like 4 or 5 different sizes. And I'm on the last size because she wanted one of each set. And I do 50 of each size for $5. So you get a lot of tags for a reasonable price. Because I have to run the cardboard through my Big Shot and then die cut it out. And then I run the papers through the same die cut machine with the same die to cut it out. And then I put the two together. So it takes a little while to get these done. Hey, Arlene. Well, I'm glad you got to come and say hi. Arlene is such a blast. She's so much fun. We'll do a private session through where you don't go live, but you can invite somebody into StreamYard and just craft and talk. She watches me cut my paper, tear my paper, go through all this good stuff. But it's always nice having somebody to chat with in the middle of the night, especially when my hubby works late. It's nice having company. So is anybody working on anything special? I get to see what Rebecca's working on when I slip into her channel. She's always doing something fun. I'm trying to take the month of January off and just relaxing because it's my birth month this month. And I'm trying to get out and visit some channels while I have my time off. That's my goal. It's just to sit and relax. And then the month of February, I'm going to start my book videos again. This is my plan for 2021. And it'll probably be romance section I'll be hitting for the month of February. It's just since it's Valentine's. I got a lot of downsizing to do. So what I do is I run videos of all the books I have for sale. I give people clear to the end of the month if they're interested. Then all the books go and they get donated. Hey, Jude. How is Jude? You'll have to let me know when you get your mail. Man, woman, I'm telling you, that shipping was terrible. Me and my hubby were looking around that day. You said that you paid for the order. We were trying to figure out how to divide it. We were looking for boxes. That's why I didn't have it repacked yet. Because I was going to do it. Because one thing about Etsy that's nice is I can leave your order sit there for 5 months. So and it's not going to go away. So you have within 5 months, and I've done this for other people. It's kind of like a layaway plan that if they want to, they can come in and pay it like all at once, or I can split your order into 2 different orders to make it easier. Oh my God, I about died when I saw that shipping on that order. I was like, oh my goodness. I was having heart failure. Because I was going in and looking up every way I possibly could think of to save. And it actually would have been more expensive going straight through my post office than going through Etsy, because Etsy actually gets a discount through the post office. Yeah, but I still wanted to make it easier for you, because that was like crazy. I don't think I've ever had anybody get that much shipping attached to an order before. I about died. I had a guy one time. I had a set of books that he wanted. It was a military type of books, and it came in a set. And the only book I didn't have in the entire set was number 15. He messaged me through the Facebook Marketplace, and I said, my goodness, the shipping is more than what I'm charging you for the books, the whole set. And he said it's okay because he figured out the difference of what the books cost in Canada. He said, Tammy, your prices are so cheap on books. He says, trust me, I would rather pay the extra shipping than what it would cost to actually buy the set. Because I think they were like $13 a piece. And I was only selling them for like $1 a piece. So he said, when you figure out the difference between shipping and what I would have paid, he said it'd been better just to buy the books off you. He was so excited. But he says, if you can find number 15, please let me know. But I couldn't find it. Whoever, had the set didn't have that extra book in it. So it is what it is. But that's one of the reasons why I like selling my books so cheap. Because I know that shipping costs, even when you send it media, but out of the country, it's outrageous. But I take that in consideration when I sell my products, especially when they go out of the country. I try to lower them for people that's away. That was crazy. I know what it's like when I had to, the priority boxes you just don't want to use going out of the country. Because I remember taking, I packed them as tight. I pack everything as tight as I can where you're not paying for air in a box too. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, because any extra room in a box, you're paying for the measurements. So that's why I pack them as good as I can, as flat as possible. Because it's awful. But I took a priority box one time to the post office because this girl won a giveaway I had a while ago from the UK. Well, the priority box is the same size as a brown box I had that was from Ulta. And I remember when I went to the post office, because I do test this stuff, they told me $78. I told that guy down there, there is no way I'm paying $78 for this to ship. And so I came back home, repacked it in the Ulta box, just a regular brown box, and took it down. It dropped it down to $30, because I told him it should be around between $30 and $35. And it did. It dropped it to $35. That's a big jump from $78. So the one thing you don't want to do is use priority out of the country for sure. Now, I haven't get to test it in the United States. Like comparing them to brown boxes, I think they're pretty close when you mail them in the States. But it's unbelievable. See, that's where I think that's just so wrong, dude. That is so wrong. That's something I don't do. I go down, and what I try to do now, I packed a friend because sometimes the mail here you have to watch in the United States. This happened to a person I know from a sale of mine. Sometimes the mail people just set your stuff anywhere. I don't know why they do that, especially on a rainy day. I think it's crazy because here you can actually give a pink slip and take it back to the post office, and then you can go pick it up. Well, I had a friend who got a box for me, and I happened to put a thin layer of plastic in the bottom. It was I think it was a medium flat rate, and I stuck it down in the bottom and then packed her stuff in it. Because boxes, when they get wet, it's just horrible. At least with the bubble bags, you have a chance because it's plastic and water rolls off of it, where boxes doesn't. She had 3 packages delivered, and she says, Tammy, I thank God you put that bubble wrap in the bottom of that box because yours was the only mail that didn't get soaked. She lost one of her mails because it was so soaked it fell apart. And I'm like, what kind of a mail person does that? And it happened to me. We had a bad rainstorm. My husband happened to walk out the door, and there was packages sitting on my porch. I was so furious because they were soaked. But I thought, thank goodness they were in plastic. Mine were okay. But I was not happy. I'm always calling my post office and bickering with them. But yeah, that happens. So this year, what I did, I thought it was funny because I showed it my last live. We went and bought an extra large mailbox. I told my husband this year I want to buy something for the house for us for Christmas. So I got an extra large mailbox that a priority flat and large rate will fit right into it. It has no problem. So it's huge. And he got a piece of oak to where it'll hold it up because we live in a windy place. Our mail lady literally sent me a postcard that I put in my postcard book. I'll show it to you since you didn't get to see it. I just put this in my postcard book for my mail lady. Look how funny this is. She sent us she put this in the postcard. It says, thank you. And you flip it over and it says, with special thanks for your thoughtfulness and best wishes for the new year, your mail carrier, Jen. Love the new mailbox. With a smiley face. So she appreciates our new mailbox. Because we kept getting pink slips. She kept having to take our mail back to the post office all the time, and I think she got tired of it. Because what happened, there's really a story behind it. Our doorbell stopped working when we bought the house. So me and my husband, I swear I don't know where he's getting these doorbells, but they're horrible. He tried to put 2 doorbells in our home, and they don't work. They would work for a period of time and quit for some reason. So this summer, that's my goal. I have another doorbell picked out because I did a lot of research to find a doorbell that'll work, because we can't hear if somebody's at our front door when we're in our living room. We live in a 1,700 square feet house. I mean, it's long. So when we're in our living room, we can't hear nothing when you got the TV on. So I told my husband, I said, we need a doorbell we can hear. We can't hear nobody. So the poor woman, she's getting out of her mail truck and trying to deliver to us and knock on our door. We can't hear her. So she's taking all that time, to get out of her vehicle and walk across our yard and stuff, which I think is sad because some of these packages are heavy. And I told him we're just going to have to do the mailbox. It's a lot cheaper than constantly running to the post office to get my mail, because when he works, he can go to the post office on his way and it's okay. But the days he's off, like Saturday, I always try to get down there the next day. That's what we need. Seriously, Jude. We need a cowbell. We had one that played music and stuff. Like you had different plugins around the house, but I don't know. He's tried 2 times and they quit working. I'm about ready to install a cowbell. But the family's funny because they know to walk around my house and knock on my back door. They know that we can't hear. So when people come to visit, that's where they usually go. And it scares the crap out of us because that we definitely hear. Especially when you're watching a scary movie and somebody's banging on your door right beside where you're sitting. It makes you jump. So my daughter, I told her I'll probably need her to help me install it. I said, because every time my daughter fixes something, it works better. Did you see what Karen Porter? Did you see what she sent me in her in the mail? She had me rolling in the last video that I did for Christmas. Oh my goodness, what that woman sent. She is hysterical. She come up, she says, it's good to hear you laugh. And I go, oh my gosh, I said, you really got me on this mail because I never expected to see it. She took Timmy Holt's people and set them in different places on cards. And one of them was 2 men over like a hot cup of tea or coffee. They were in the steam. I thought I was going to die laughing, Jude. I told my husband, I think Karen's going to stick you in the hot seat. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. Yeah, she is a riot for sure. She is a funny lady. She had me cracking up. What to do with her? She surprised me. It's always fun when you get surprises from people you don't expect to get surprises from, She is definitely a riot. I was going to do a Christmas page in my glue book, but I do not know where my Christmas clippings are at the time being. I have nothing laying around me that's Christmas to be able to do it. So I got stuck. Well, no, I can't say that. I guess I do have something around me I could use. Ooh, I might just go ahead and do that because I didn't get to do a Christmas page this year. I don't want to keep cutting pages all night. I'll finish these later. I got a nice pile started. Let me find my glue book. Here we go. Here's my handy dandy glue book. I have so much fun. I love this. I got this trim off of Esme off of Facebook, and I wish I had more of it because I really like how this, it shocked me how it really looks beautiful as trim around a page. It's almost like a flat gold with like little white designs in it. It's really pretty. Then this was my green page. Then I had the horsey page for my eBay seller. And I have a fall page. I just put anything corny. I love this one. This was my Halloween. I just put them in random. Wherever I feel like sticking them. And then here is my secret garden page. This was my recent one. I had so much fun making this one. And then here is my, my grandmother used to say that. I love you, a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. It was one of her favorite things. This is my faith page. I think that was it. This was my last year's birthday page. My birthday is coming up the end of the month, so I'm going to have to do another one. This was for 2020. And then let's see here. All of these were done in 2020. I guess I should label them, huh? That's what I'm going to do. That one's already labeled. Just so I know when I did them. It seems funny. I started writing in my new journal, and I I put 2020, and I'm like, Tammy, what are you doing? I had to go back through and change everything to 1. So we will officially start my first 2021 page tonight. I think that was it. That's all I got done in this so far. And then this pen came from my favorite dumpster diver queen. I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe the stuff that people throw out. Drives me nuts. She goes out dumpster diving and she picks up a bunch of items. And I did an unboxing. And what she does is she'll show them on her channel. And she only charges for shipping. Like she'll fill up a priority box and whatnot. I mean, and she stuffs them. And then all you pay is the shipping. And she has some really nice boxes. The shipping's included, so it's really nice. I got another box coming in that she found for my grandkids. It's filled with hats and different things. It's really nice. She'll have crafting boxes. Sometimes she puts together clothes. Sometimes like slippers and cologne for men. Like she had a bunch of boxes made up before Christmas. They were really nice. I know a couple dumpster divers. And Crystal, I mod for her channel. She sends me crafty stuff that she gets too. We do swaps sometimes. So what page am I going to pick for Christmas? How about... Let's go back here. Let's do green right here. Look what I found. Santa Claus on cards that need to go in the garbage. So let's see what we can pull off of this envelope. This is kind of cool. This is going to be a random one. I just happened to look over and seen envelopes. And I thought, oh, yay, because they got Christmas decorations on the envelopes that I'm going to be recycling the paper. And I like this because we already have "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" right there. This was on a Christmas envelope. Using scraps. Isn't that what we do? Scrappy people. Yeah, she had some really nice stuff. There was a lot of adult crayon, coloring books and things like that. You wouldn't believe the stuff people throw out. Crystal sent me a pack of, it was a beautiful Christmas card making kit. And it had all kinds of stuff. But I've done unboxings of it on videos. And some of them I think I'm going to turn into some giveaways too. You just never know what I'll do. I haven't done a giveaway in a while. I'll have to work on that. So we get a really cool picture of Santa on the same envelope. Let me get him cut off. I don't have my fussy cutting scissors down here, so I'm winging this with a pair of bigger ones. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've made up my mind. I think what I'm going to do is do what I was doing before. And it's sad because, you know, there are people that help give you watch time and you appreciate those people too. And not everybody can afford to buy, and I totally understand that. But on the flip side, I keep getting too many people in that I don't know who they are. They've never purchased off of me before. They're not a regular to my channel. And all they want's the prizes. So that can get expensive after a while. People doing that all the time. And it's really not fair to the people who do purchase. So I just decided that what I'm going to do, sometimes I do giveaways just for people who come into my comment sections too. They're random, they're secret, people don't know about it. Those are fun. And then, because I don't want to force people to feel that they have to watch my channel to win something, because that's not what my giveaways are about. But I think what I'm going to do is make it to where only the people who are buying at the sales are going to win. And I'm going to do the drawings after, because I did that before and it worked out better for me, costly wise. Me personally, I don't enter giveaways unless I buy from a person's channel, but that's because I feel like I'm better mannered. I just don't. And it's okay that people want to have giveaways. You know, if you can afford it and you want to have giveaways for people, you know, and you can afford that kind of a thing, then that's fine. But I think I'm going to make mine to where it's only for the people who shop, because it's just easier for me to do it that way. Because I do have people who I know that can't shop that I also come into my comment section. I can always do prizes with them later. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be a giveaway because of the sales. But that's just how I think I'm going to handle it. It's just the only thing is they're not going to have a choice. And that is another thing I like, is when people can choose. I really do like having it to where I can lay out a few products, like an A, B, and C, and people can choose what they want. I kind of like that because I don't want people to have a giveaway they don't want. And I don't know how to do that without doing it during the sale. Unless maybe I have a night of giveaways after the sale and tell the same people to hop back in that did buy so they could pick a gift. Something like that. I'll figure something out. Because I've done a lot of giveaways through the years and I really do enjoy it. My back to school one's my favorite. Because I always told my husband we got to a place we could afford to give back. That's what we would do. And we did. And I do know where the people are coming from that win the giveaways. So I know so far, none of the people that have won my giveaways have been trolls. They've been legit people who really needed the items. One of them was a mom of 4. And it was so cool because she took pictures and sent them to me through Instagram of her kids going crazy over the box. And you could see them open it, and they were so excited. And she was excited because she says, I'm a mom of four and I struggle, and it was really hard, trying to get school supplies for all the kids. And she says, I could divide out what you got. And she was just really happy. And that's what I like to see, is when a person deserves it. And the last person that won, it was another person who really deserved it. Every one of them has shown me pictures in some form if they didn't have a YouTube channel. So I've been pretty blessed in that area, because I like helping mothers, especially because I know what it was like to be a single mom at one time in my life. And it's a struggle. Even two people who are working and making minimum wage, it's a struggle. So I think stuff like that's fun. And actually, it was Danielle Ray. I love her. She's a makeup guru, but I adore her personality. She's one of my favorite YouTubers on here. I like her and Paper and Moose. I just love them. And Danielle Ray, I've put her up. They're all in my community page. All the people that I do a weekly personality thing for, they're all on my community page. So you can all go check them out if you're interested. But Danielle Ray, she gets a lot of makeup. And she's one of the, she's got like a lot of followers. She was not at 100K when I first met her. I think it's where she's at now. She really grew. But she don't have as many followers on her Instagram. I actually have more followers than she does on Instagram, which is shocking, on her work page. But she just announced, what she does for a living. And like she says, it's kind of hard to trust people on social media because you never know how they're going to react to stuff, which I don't blame her. But she's actually a State Farm agent. And we like State Farm. So I really like her. I follow her in 2 places on Instagram, and I follow her on Twitter. I just really love her disposition. Like, she tries to be as honest as she can be with the consumer when she's doing her makeup videos. And she's not phony. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like her so much. But she's the reason why I started the back to school giveaways on my channel, because she gets so much makeup, because she's one of those people that gets stuff free. She's on the list for, to get that kind of stuff. And she takes and uses all of that in a giveaway. So she can target, she'll target all ages. And she even says, like, she does markers and gel pens. I mean, if you'd see the layout this girl does, sometimes she does 3 giveaways. That's how much stuff she gets. But she, sometimes she used to do the giveaways where there was no conditions. Now I think she gets sponsored, because you have to download like an app, something to do with shopping. It's something free. You don't have to pay for it, but they promote her, and then she does a giveaway through them. Like, if you download the app, you could enter the giveaways or something. I don't know, but she's awesome, and her giveaways are massive. Like, it's like half a makeup store. But she is giving that way, where she doesn't like to see stuff get wasted. But she even tells the kids, you have to be 18 or older. But she says, if you're too young to wear the makeup, your mom can have it. But I just really like her, because she was really targeting a lot of college students, because she said, when you're paying your college tuition, which we all know this, that can get pricey itself. So some of the kids couldn't afford extras. So that was one of the reasons why she started doing her giveaways. And I just think it's really cool. And I thought, this is a really good idea. My giveaways aren't as massive as hers, but I try to target like the younger kids. I think mine are more like for my grandkids' age. because I don't do all the makeup stuff. I've done makeup in a back to school giveaway before, but most of mine is school supplies. I try to fit colored pencils and markers and I don't know. I have a list I usually follow every year. I put usually a backpack in there and the pencils and all the kind of stuff that kids need. And sometimes even people will give me feedback in my comment section. Like I didn't know one year that they had to have red pens because something to do with the teacher having them grade papers or something. So I had to add some stuff to it. But it's fun. I've done it every year since I've been on YouTube. And I usually start about when I go out in the stores and stuff. If I see something, I pick it up and I build it up all year. And then usually I do it in like around July. Start like getting everything together because I want them to have their stuff before they go back to school. A couple times I was a little late, but I made it. And I never had the same person win twice. It's always been different people. And I did random drawings through, you know, as long as your channel's small, you can put it on a piece of paper and stick it in a bowl. But her channel, she can't. Her channel's too big now. So she does the number generators. Like, or not number generators, but the name generators where you have to like go into these things. There's steps you have to take for hers. I probably would do a number generator though. I think she has you sign up somehow. Danielle does. To where it picks your name. I don't know if it's a comment selector. I'm not really sure what she uses. But I entered a couple of hers. But then I stopped entering hers because if I would win, I would like take it to a local church or a place to find out a kid in need because I don't need that stuff. But it would be nice to help somebody in the community. I would just have to do it in a surprise way. I've won giveaways and done that before. Give them to someone else that needed it more. I never keep what I know I'm not going to use. I've even bought crafting supplies and done that. I never heard of those, Jude. What are they? Oh, sorry, I wasn't even doing that in frame. I fussy cutted a piece of flour out of an envelope. Sometimes they have where you can go into our local stores here and you can buy toys and put them in a box and they have a toy donation. They have angel trees. This year they had a place down in our town where you could go, like right when winter began, they had a place where you could drop off gloves and hats for kids and they would tell you the sizes and stuff. And then our local news station, they do a coat for kids thing where you can send in money and they buy coats or you could donate coats. And it's brand new. They're like all brand new coats. And then they have the kids that come in, you know, and fit into whatever coat. They have a lot of stuff, you know, around. You just got to look for it. The only thing that I can't find here is where the homeless go. That's the only thing I can't find in my community. I mean, we have like a couple soup kitchens that you have to travel to get to. But like, I don't know, like close to me, where they go. And every time I ask somebody, nobody seems to have any answers. So I'm not really sure about that. I can't believe how decked out these Christmas card envelopes are. This isn't even coming off of cards. It's literally coming off of envelopes. This is so cool. Two little deer. This is so funny. Hey, Candy. It happens. Especially when you get a bunch of lives at the same time. It happens. No clue what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. We shall see. I want to cut this out a little better. Look how cute that is. Yes, we had a fantastic Christmas, and thank you so much, Candy. I hope you did too. And New Year's, we basically, believe it or not, me and my husband sat in the house. We watched Downton Abbey until the New Year came in. He was like nodding off like an old man should. But we had fun watching it, just bringing in the New Year, because like right now, it's like really sad what we're all going through. Because my mom and dad have COVID. My oldest daughter has COVID. Mike's aunt has COVID. It's really hitting our families right now. His one aunt, though, we're worried about her. We don't know if she's going to make it or not. And he was talking to his cousin, and she's in the hospital with double pneumonia. My mom and them caught it in an early stage, thank goodness. So it never made it to their chest. And they are recommending Mucinex so that it doesn't get there for some people. But we're not sure. He was talking to his cousin through Facebook, and she was just saying she never seen her dad so weak, and she's got it, but her mom's in the hospital, so we're just waiting. She's a very, very religious, very kind lady, his one aunt, and it's just really sad. I hate that this is happening to her, but she did have underlying health conditions too on top of it. So it's hitting her hard. Yep, his Aunt June. She's a very sweet lady. Thank you so much, Jude. I'm telling you, that's all we do is pray. I've been praying for families, just period, that's going through this. Any family. Just seems like it's just really hitting a lot of people. See, that's like us, Candy. My husband's mother lives in a community where her sister's down the street, where her sister's always visiting, and she has it. So that's another aunt on his mom's side of the family. My daughter helps my mom and dad all the time because they always go to places like Costco and stuff together. They do a lot of running. We don't know how my parents were exposed because my nephew also lives with my mom and dad for a time period. He's staying there and he works in the front line in the hospital. He's got it too. So we don't know if he picked it up from the hospital. It's like, I mean, it's no big deal because it's not like it's a blame. They were just trying to figure out where it came from. But he has it. But the weird thing is my parents came down sick before he did. So it could have really come from anywhere because my oldest daughter's kids are not out of school. They go to an inner city school, not a public school. So all the public schools were shut down, but in their school, they didn't have any cases. So they were still open and being around everybody. But my daughter, she came in on Christmas. She says, Mom, me and the kids got runny noses. Do you want us to wear a mask? And I told him no, because of the season change. You're not thinking. They just had, it sounded like they had cold. So we didn't think nothing of it. So we've been exposed. Me and my husband both have been exposed because hers got worse and we were kissing on our grandkids and stuff. We definitely been exposed, but we haven't had no symptoms. But we're still staying in quarantine. Like I'm staying in quarantine till the 8th because they said go by they say like 7 days, but I'm doing for the 14. I don't pay attention to everything on Google, but I'm going to wait it out to the 8th of January because we just wanted to see, if we ended up with any symptoms. But so far, what it's been in my family, my mom told me her head, it's like a sinus infection. She said, I've had a headache. I've lost my sense of taste. My head's stuffed up. And I've had a little bit of diarrhea. Now, my daughter has not had the diarrhea part. She just had the head stuffiness, like a sinus infection. And her husband has not had the sinus infection. He has the fatigue. He wanted to sleep all day. But so far, I mean, I'm sleepy anyways. I have hot flashes. I couldn't tell you if I'm having a fever. But as far as losing my taste and all that, none of that's happened to me. My husband's back to work. But the reason why he's at work is because he doesn't work next to nobody. He's a welder and he welds inside of giant canisters for nuclear waste. So he's there. I don't know how he could expose anybody when he's not near anybody. But he doesn't have any symptoms either. Like so far, me and him has been okay, but we've been around people that have been exposed to it. So we're just praying we don't get anything. By the 8th of January, we should be okay. My daughter just hit her 7th day, so she sounds still a little bit like she has a cold in her voice, but she's doing fine. They all stayed isolated, even the kids. None of them went to school or nothing, because I don't even know if they're back to school yet. Her kids aren't, but they definitely, she called the school and called the doctor, and they definitely they totally isolated because they knew they had it. But she said you can go to Walgreens. There's a site online. You do some questions and you can actually go to the Walgreens with an appointment through the drive-thru, and they hand you the swab and everything. And they show you how to do it, where you have to stick it like an inch up into your nose. You do your own swab and turn it in, and then it takes 3 to 5 days to come back. I hear you don't want a quick response because it's giving out false negatives or something. I don't know, but I would personally have it sent away. That's just my preference. Yes, and this is the time of year I used to get sinus infections until I started eating raw honey. And I'm not lying. This is not something to promote. Literally, I had sinus infections so bad. What starts with me is the heat that we have in our house. I end up with bloody noses, which I've had this year. I start out with bloody noses, and 3 times within so many months, it got so bad that I was having sinus infections. I had to do 3 Z-Packs. My doctor was even like, Tammy, this is getting bad. Like, you did 3 Z-Packs within 5 months. That's how bad my sinus infections was getting. So I started doing some research on some natural products. And one of the things that came up, we had an October sale. This was like a few years ago. We had an Oktoberfest, and there was a lady who she had owned bees, and she was selling raw honey. So I brought it home and I started putting it in. Sometimes I'll put it in with tea, like 2 tablespoons is what I usually use of it. Sometimes I'll put it in organic peanut butter because let's face it, organic peanut butter is nasty, but when you mix honey with it, it's not so bad. Like a drop of it. So I was eating peanut butter on crackers, like 5 of them, 5 days a week. And that's how it started. And my sinus infections just went away. Like I stopped having them altogether. So I had been 3 years doing this, sinus infection free. And then this year, I didn't do the honey like I was doing, and I had a bloody nose at the beginning of the year. Well, then we put a mister in the room, and I started eating honey again, and my nose feels better already. There's something about raw honey. It's got to be organic. It can't be just store-bought honey. It has to be raw honey that's helping me through it. But I also know that I have a low immunity. That's something I've had for a really long time. When you're a kid and you have like a wart on your finger or something like that, that's a sign that you have low immunity. So I also started looking up items because I used to get like a wart and every so often on some of my fingers, and then I would have to get compound W, get rid of them and stuff like that because they say it's a virus that goes through your system. So I started studying a long time ago, like when I was 11. I would talk to people and ask questions like, what do you do? So now that you have Google, you can, look up what's good to build your immunity system. And they have all kinds of foods. They have different things that you can do. Like, I don't do the airborne, but I do the equate to build your immunity because it's cheaper, but it's the same ingredients as the airborne. And it actually has been really good because I've been doing it the whole time through COVID. Since COVID has hit, I've already been on a multivitamin for years, but since I had my hysterectomy, I'm like really cautious on all that stuff. And plus I talked to my gynecologist, and she's from India, and she is really good at educating on stuff like this. So we talked about this stuff too, and I think I'm doing good. Like, I really built up my immunity from where I was before just by taking different things. But what makes you mad is the capitalist. I can't find the Equate Immunity Builder in our Walmart. It's been out for weeks. And so I finally went online and I Googled it, and it's even sold out. It's out of stock on Walmart, but whoever got a hold of it, they got it on eBay for twice the price. That's what makes me so angry about capitalism. And I screenshot it and I put it on my Facebook. I'm like, this is ridiculous. That I can't get it in a regular store, but you have to pay double to get it off of eBay sellers. And it's just so irritating because it's still out in my store. It still has not been restocked. And it's aggravating. They go out and buy all this stuff and you can't have it. They sell it for a bigger price, Oh, I'm telling you. I don't know if I can find it to show you where I put it on there, but I will. It's crazy. I know that's what my husband said. He said, you should post it and send it to somebody. And I was like, it's just irritating. Because it hurts us people that need this stuff, But I still haven't. But all it is 3 gummies. It's 3 like sugar coated type gummies that you chew in the morning, and it's fantastic because I feel like it's really helped with my immunity. Yeah, here it is. Wait a second, and I'll show you. Just to prove that I'm telling the truth. Not that you guys doubt it, but look at this. It says Equate Immunity Vitamin C. You go to where it's $9.36. This just irritates me. I'll try to pull it up so you can see it. It says you get 250 milligrams, 42 count at Walmart. And look at the price. It's only $9.36. You go down here where it's on eBay. Did it not post the whole picture? Oh, that's so irritating. Oh, there it is. Look at that price. It posted the whole thing. It's got the same for 19.99. Is that, like, not sad? And it's in stock on eBay, but it's out of stock right there on Walmart. That's the stuff that irritates me. See? Out of stock. I just get so frustrated, and I have still not been able to get any. It's just ridiculous. Oh, people. Sometimes people just irritate me. I know it isn't, Jude. It's awful. Because it's just like me and my daughter were talking, they've gotta have feelers out and you know how they're talking about bots and stuff. I do believe that because I know a seller on eBay that has bot feelers out that if anything comes up mechanical, they hurry up and try to buy it and put it on eBay. They can do this. People don't realize how much you could do on the web. So, there was a cartoon that came out. My one granddaughter absolutely loves Spirit. It's the cartoon about the horse. They just came out in Target with the beautiful set of Spirit the horse, and it was reasonable. And whoever saw the ad or wherever they put their feelers out, they literally bought them out. I mean, this was just an ad we just got in the paper. Me and my daughter called the stores before we made the trip because it was a little further away. They were out of them. Turn around, I found them being sold on eBay. Twice the amount is what they came out in Target with. So somebody had feelers out there. Nobody's going to tell me any different. They hurried up and went and bought all these backpacks up, and then they stuck them on eBay for twice the price because we could not find them in any store. We called Walmart. We called all the Targets. We went online to the Targets through Google. And this also happened to me with a chair. Seriously, wait till you see this chair. This chair came out on Lakeside. It's a magazine I love to get, and it's a wonderful site. If you can get to Lakeside and shop on there, it's amazing. I still got it saved in my favorites. I'll show you what this chair looks like. I could write books. Seriously, I could tell so many stories about online. It's sad. Here it is. This is on my wish list. I want you to see this chair. Hold on. Come on, YouTube, get out of my way. Okay, this is called a wildlife artist chair. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. You can see how beautiful this chair is. Look at this chair. We have an event once a year at our family reunion where my sister will put a chair and she'll put a bunch of stuff on it as like a ticket giveaway. And then people buy stuff and all the money goes back into the food and stuff for the actual family reunion for the food and everything. This chair is gorgeous. It's got a deer on it. It's blue. It's got a wolf and it's got an eagle all in front of a moon. It came out first on Lakeside. It was really cheap. So I had put an order in, but by the time I had called them, they were out. So I found it on Amazon. And it went from, I can't remember the first original price, but Amazon had it for $19.99, which is still up from the price Lakeside had it. Time I got here, it was currently unavailable. I literally print screen another picture of an eBay seller who bought up all these freaking chairs, and they were on there for 30 something a piece. And I'm not kidding. 3 different places this was sold out. And it never returned. They said, we don't know when or if this item will be back in stock. So in the meantime, when I ordered it from Amazon, they only had one left and I wanted 2. Well, it went through the whole transfer, like, it left the store and it was delivered on my porch. I never got it. So I had to report it stolen, and I honestly don't think Amazon ever delivered it because it happened later on with the crocodile, because there's like an automated system. Whenever you buy something off of Etsy or Amazon, it automatically goes through and it says your order went through, it's on its way, but not necessarily has left. Well, the crocodile never came. So I called Amazon, like, listen, you got a delivery here that never happened. I was home the whole day. So now it's making me wonder if this chair was ever delivered in the first place. And I had to file a police report on this chair, which was ridiculous because they said it was delivered. It never came. So they went back and checked through when I called the Amazon customer service, and he said, man, it never left. Whoever I ordered it off of, it never left because Amazon's filled with a bunch of different sellers. So he said, what we have to do is we have to refund your money, and then you have to reorder it again off of another seller. So that's how I got my crocodile. Because I said, but why did it go through the whole process saying it was delivered and it wasn't here? Because you made me feel like my mail was stolen and I was here. So now it makes me wonder if that chair ever got here. I don't think it did because I never saw anything. My husband leaves here. He never saw a package on the porch. And it's not like we have a bunch of theft here. But it's like I about died. So I have no clue what happened, but I never did get the chair. And then when I went back to look for it, it was gone. They were sold out of Lakeside and stuff, but the chair was gorgeous. My husband was sick because it was supposed to be part of his Father's Day gift. That's the kind of stuff that happens when you shop on the web. And I know that people are really going to miss the brick and mortar stores because, when you go into the brick and mortar, your shipping's already included by bulk. And when you shop online, it's going to get so expensive for us, for our stores shutting down. We've lost so many stores near me. It's sad that have closed. Because now it's like you have to pay $100 of shipping to get it free. $100 worth of products to get it for free. What if you want to go to a site, you only want to order one thing? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're being pushed into ordering things that you don't really need just to save on shipping. Like, that's the kind of stuff I think about when I shop online. Or some will do like $50 or more of a purchase. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think we're really going to miss our brick and mortar stores in the end because of that reason. Because it's really going to cost us to shop. I think about stuff like that all the time. Maybe I just have too much time to think, but I do. Because I think, my goodness, if people are struggling now and they can't make their bills, how in the heck is it going to be when this all happens, That's crazy, Candy. I had a mail, we had our community yard sale here one day, and somebody stopped by. They were cleaning up their yard and thought that somebody had threw litter in it, and it was actually my tag for my license plates renewal. 3 blocks away from my house, my tag renewal was in somebody's yard. And I didn't even know it. And I'm like, how in the heck did that get 2 blocks from my house? 2-3 blocks up the road. I have no clue. That's the only time I've really had that loss, except for the chair. That was the first thing I had to report. And I mean, I've had people deliver, thank goodness I'm an honest person. I had somebody deliver, I think it was an Xbox. It was like a $169 piece for an Xbox. And my neighbor, he knew everybody. He was like the neighborhood, he just knew everybody. And he goes, I know the guy that goes to, he works at the fire hall. So he took it to him for me. And then 3 days later, the UPS man shows up at my house asking me questions. Well, because what they've been doing now here is when they deliver it, they take a picture of your house to show that. And I told him, I said, dude, I already got that delivered to the person it went to. I said, my neighbor knows the guy because he's a firefighter. So he took it to him. And he's like, oh, okay, thank you, ma'am. I said, I can't tell you, since I've opened my bookstore, how many packages end up at my bookstore that goes to a neighbor. Me and my husband just take it. We don't deal with it. We just take it to the person, say here. But that's a lot of money. I mean, like, I could have lied and said, no, it never arrived here. And there's like $100 and some piece you get away with. But I was raised better. We were raised to tell the truth and to get stuff where it belongs. But it's just craziness. I'm always afraid to give it back to the post office because I'm afraid to lose it again. So I just deliver it myself. Even if I have to take a picture of the person that I'm delivering it to prove I did it, that's what I'll do. Because I had a mail one time, Ken. Well, we had a P.O. box. They kept putting a pink slip in my mailbox saying, you have this package to pick up. But every time I would go to the post office, they would say, we can't find it. And I go, well, then quit putting a slip in my mailbox saying you have it when you can't find it. Because this is the third time, like the third time I made the trip in, I said, I'm not leaving here till you find it. I said, one time I'll give you a second. I said, but the third time, no, I'm not leaving here till you find it. I don't care if you have to comb this place clean. I'm not moving. So I was there for about an hour. They were looking and couldn't find it wherever they store mail that doesn't fit in your post office box. You'll never believe where it was. Under the counter, up against the wall to the side, and it was sitting right there where they walked past it. And it was a series of discs, and it was like a long rectangular box. And I'm like, there's no way you could miss this. It's like it was the whole seasons of One Tree Hill. And they were walking past it every time they were looking for it. And they finally found it. And I was like, good, because I ain't leaving here without it. Sometimes I'm telling you, those post office people. I was like, oh my. Gotta put your foot down sometimes. I mean, I try not to be mean and I try not to be rude because I know around the holidays things can get hectic. But it's like, geez, people, you're wasting my gas every time I come in here. I didn't even live within walking distance of the post office when that happened. But anyway, I do have one piece of advice for everybody out there who sells on their channel. Is I really do appreciate the people who have been reading StreamYard when you do the me's in front, because it works. StreamYard really does put them in order. And I noticed since I've been going to other sales, you know how some people thought the devices were all different when you shopped on their channels. They're not really. What was happening was, I think it's the lag time that's causing names to come in at different times. But I have compared to every single person sales that I have been to lately. I have been when I have been to Patty's on StreamYard, when I have been to Mary Ann's on StreamYard, everybody that's been using StreamYard, Pearl, all of them. When you read StreamYard, it is the same answer as you refresh. People keep saying not to refresh YouTube because you get difference, and it's not true. The refreshing actually puts it in order. I don't care what Google says, they lie. Because I have been comparing every single sale, and everybody's order has been the same as mine. Like, I'm seeing everybody's name in the same order. Now, when you put a me in, we see ourselves first because, you know, it's on our computer. But if you hit refresh, you will see the people that are supposed to be first. At least I have been. And when people have been running names off of StreamYard, I'm seeing the same list you're all seeing. I haven't been seeing any different lists here lately. So I think it's all about the lag. Because I was in another sale earlier today. They were reading off of YouTube and not StreamYard, and they were calling out the wrong names. They were coming in first. And that person doesn't like to refresh, which is their opinion. It's their channel, but they weren't getting the correct people. But reading through StreamYard, you are getting the correct people. I was shocked because I've been really paying attention because I'll refresh on my end because, of course, I see myself first. So I hit refresh and I'll be like the 5th one down on the list. But refreshing does put it in the right order. It really does, because I've been doing comparisons, just sitting back and watching everybody with their sales. And I was like, this is pretty cool because now I'm actually seeing the real order that people are coming in. But I was impressed. I was like, yes, finally. I'm telling you, fighting lag on YouTube is ridiculous when you're in some sales. But I'm glad that StreamYard came when it did. Oh, this is so cute. I wonder if I can get this off. Ooh. I'm going to try to take that off here in a second. Oh, I like this one too. Isn't it terrible being crafters and the things we pick off of stuff? I'm finding little stickers over here. And this sticker is so stinking cute. I want to take it off this envelope. I don't know if it'll come off though. We're going to try. Please don't rip. This is so cute. You know how you have the little stamp that seals the envelope? Look how cute this is with this puppy. And it tore off perfectly. And I'm going to stick it right up here in the corner because I think that is just stinking cute. Well, it's the time of the day, Candy. I have Comcast and I'm on Xfinity. And it should be a good speed. But at certain times of the day, they do maintenance, and we noticed that, me and my husband both noticed that it drops. And every time he calls, that's exactly what they're doing, is they're maintaining. And we'll get like maybe a few bars on our Wi-Fi. So, I think they think it's the time of the day when businesses are usually closed, because you're really not supposed to be on it all night like we are. But it is usually after a certain period of time. Or if we have a down line, then of course we're going to have it because they're actually working on it. Because every time my husband's called, there has been issues. Like we had a down line one time, and it is what it is. But for the most part, I can come on here sometimes and have the quickest speed and be first and be like, oh my. And then sometimes I come into a stream, I cannot get first place and nothing in sales. Like I'm usually the 5th or last or whatever, and I constantly refresh. I just think, my personal opinion, I have anxiety at times. And I know that I have it. It's a condition I've had for a while. I don't take medicine for it because it only happens at certain times, but I always can feel when it's coming on. And when it does, I pretty much can take my deep breaths, and get away with trying to control it for the most part. But if I'm in a live stream and it's to the point where I really, really like something, and I know it's going to sound crazy, but it's true. If I really, really like something, I want something really, really bad in a stream because like I can't find it in my area, or if I can't find even something close to resembling it, and I'm like, oh, I really want to have that, I will get anxious over the order. And I particularly am not fond of auctions. If I'm sitting in traffic, it happens to me. Like if I'm in a busy, busy intersection and my like gas light comes on or something, I'm the first one to freak out. Like I don't act on it like crazy, but I just start getting panicked and I start getting weird heart palpitations. So I try to take deep breaths when certain things happen, but like when I know that I'm in the middle of a sale with someone on here and they're not reading StreamYard and they're not refreshing, and I feel like I just can't get in at all because I don't like participating in the giveaways unless I actually can purchase something. But if you're in a stream that's so busy that you can't even get your name to get an order in, I feel like I can't even play the giveaways because I'm not ordering anything because I can't get into a position to get anything. That's the only thing I don't like about the real busy ones. And I'll leave. I can't deal with a sale like that. That drives me crazy. You know, if it's somebody that has like, you know, say like when you go to Maddie's sale and she's got a whole bunch of different items of the same thing, like she'll say, oh, I got enough to cover everybody. Or they have a decent number. I'm not so bad with those sales, but if it's somebody that just sells like one or two of each thing, I can't handle it. I can't do it. It's like, I can't. Because I'm not going to let my anxiety get the best of me. And people can sit there and say it's just crafts, and it's not about it being just crafts. It's the atmosphere. It has nothing to do with it being about crafts. It's that, you know, when you have that heart palpitation, like if you're at a horse race and you just want your horse to win, or it's that heart palpitation, that edge of the seat feeling, that's what causes me to have anxiety. So I don't like to put myself in those positions, period. I don't care if it's crafting. I don't care if it's horse racing. I don't care what it is. And sometimes my husband, he likes scary movies and I don't. I like action movies, but I'm not really a scary type person. Not really into them. And it's horrible because I hate when you see something in a movie that makes you jump. Because I have a heart arrhythmia. So that stuff isn't good for me anyways. I'm not even supposed to drink caffeine. Because when I haven't had caffeine for a while, when I drink it, I feel like I literally have heart palpitations that actually hurts. So I have to stay away from all that stuff. Oh, I like watching some scary movies like Jason and stuff like that when I was younger, but I can't get into that stuff now. I stay away from anything that makes my heart race. So, when I find myself in a sale like that, I leave. I can't do it. I feel like it's just too much. It's putting too much pressure. I know that there's lots of crafts out there and you can shop for different things. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I know this stuff, but some things that are one of a kind, you can't find them. And then you're put in that position where it's like, oh, I only have 2 of these. So the first me, or I only have 1 of these. I can't handle it. It's like, no, I don't even want to see it. For the most part, most of the sales aren't like that. They usually have a variety of stuff, but I can't deal with the one item things. It's like, no, I'll pass. I remove myself when I need to. And today I was in a sale earlier. I had to leave. I can't. It's sad because I will go back and I'll do a rewatch and I'll support that person. And as long as I'm doing a rewatch, I'm fine because I can't have it anyway because it's already gone. It's kind of like a mind thing. But that's just how I roll. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't make this stuff up. And sometimes when I'm in traffic and it's like bumper to bumper, I would never make it in a city. I drive with my husband sometimes in the city, and he's used to it because he works there. I'm like closing my eyes till we get to our destination. He tells me to. He'll say, close your eyes because he's like right up on whipping in, whipping out. I can't drive like that. I'm a backwoods country bumpkin that will take the back roads and go as slow as I want. I don't mind getting stuck in mud. I don't mind flying around in snow, but I just can't stand bumper to bumper traffic. I hate it. Now, I can go into Walmart with a crap load of people around me and I'm okay. My husband can't handle that. It drives him crazy. He misses when Walmart was open for 24 hours because his type of shopping is at like 2 in the morning because there's nobody there. He can't handle crowds. He hates being in crowds, where to me, that doesn't bother me. As long as I'm walking, I'm okay. I just don't like being in a crowded traffic jam. My husband does the same thing, Candy. He like whips it out and stuff, and it's like, no. But it is funny how we compliment each other in certain circumstances, because if I can't do something, he does it. And if he can, I do it. Oh, I can speed on a country road. It isn't really about going fast. It's just going fast when you have to go around other vehicles I don't like. Yeah, he freaks me out when he drives to the city. It's like, oh my God. I'm like closing my eyes. We drove up to the outskirts and because they have that rim, and he'll drive out and go on the rim and drive back in. I'm like, oh my goodness, you people need bumper cars down here. Bumpers on your cars. The way they drive drives me crazy. I don't know. I think it's funny. And I don't have any of my fancy schmancy stuff down here. I don't have my glitter glue down here. I'd use it. Oh, my glitter glue is upstairs. Have you ever used this stuff here? I got this, but I haven't used it yet. It's a glimmer mist. This one here is in pearl. I think this is tattered something. I haven't used the tattered sprays yet. Yeah, tattered angels. Here's the glimmer mist. What do you actually spray this on? Can you spray this like on paper pictures, or do you spray this on something else? I don't know. I've never played with these. I've played with colored sprays like the Lindy, but I never played with these ones. I don't know what you would use this on. This stuff looks like it'd be fun to use like on resin. I'll have to Google some information about this because I have not played with those yet. Oh, yes. I'll use them like, okay, well, thank you. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stencils I've yet to play with too. Now, I have used the Lindy sprays on cards when I was making ACT cards, like in backgrounds, but I haven't played with the rest of the sprays yet. I have stencils I haven't even opened yet. I do want to play with stencils though. I think they would be fun to play with for backgrounds. But I'm just building my stash. A year and a half ago today, I came into the crafting community with a hook rug hook, 2 crochet hooks, and a little bag of yarn. That's all I had. I found out about the junk journaling community because of my bookstore, and I fell into a video one day on here, and I was like, oh my gosh, and it took me on a whirlwind. So when you see a lot of these unboxings, some of them are going to be like a year ago because I haven't had time to post them all. All of the stuff that I have unboxed has built my stash to do things that I want to do. And I have done so much since then. It is crazy. And it has been a blast. Yep. So I'm not, this what kills me is like, when you see all these mails, people are like, she must have all this money. No, I didn't have no crafting supplies. I didn't have anything. So I was like a sponge trying to grab up what I could to try to build, because I look at some of these crafters on here that go live. They have like wall to floor, everything organized, and they have these beautiful craft rooms, and all the drawers are filled with all this scrumptious stuff. I didn't have anything. So, I mean, I might have had a bottle of glue, but nothing to do with crafting, probably Elmer's and some Elmer's sticks. But it's like since then, my stash has gotten so nice, but it's still not big enough for me to destash. But what I do is I will, and I know some crafters will say, well, if I haven't used something within a year, then I'm throwing it out. Well, I don't craft that fast. So I might not use something within a year does not mean I'm not going to use it. I want to take my time because I'm getting into different areas. But like I have had like build-a-bundles where you've had doilies and stuff in them, and I will know what I'm not going to use. I had even bought, I think it was a fabric pack off of a couple sellers. I only wanted a couple pieces of fabric out of that pack. So what I ended up doing was rebuilding it and, mixing it with other packs and then reselling it for what I paid for it. I didn't make a profit off it. I just resold it for what I paid because I knew I was never going to use them. But usually when I look around me, I know what I'm going to use. And if I don't, and I decide later to change my mind on something, I still have the ability that I will resell it. Or I'll put it in a Happy Mail or something eventually if nobody buys it, or I'll do a discount or something. But I do know what my style is. I'm still learning on some things. Like I did buy acrylic paints. I do want to play with paints because I haven't played in paints for a while. It's kind of like one of those things. I used to love doing crafts when I was in Girl Scouts, and then life took over and I got away from it. And I wish I kind of would have stayed in it in a way, because I always did enjoy crafts. I used to do, oh my gosh, I wouldn't even remember the moves. We used to have the great big wooden rings, and we used to sew into pictures in the material. I think it's called embroidery. We used to do that all the time when I was younger. I used to do that constantly. And I would do hook rugs and just all kinds of projects because we were earning badges in Girl Scouts. And for some reason, I got away from all that. And I can't even remember how I used to do embroidery, but I used to be really good at it. I don't have any of my pieces either. We turned them in for projects, and I don't know what I ended up doing. Probably gave it to my mom for Christmas or something. Yes, it is, Penny. It's true. There's so much of a variety out there. But the only thing I'm having a problem with on acrylic paints is, for most of my life, I did watercolor. So, with watercolor, you can have just a cup of water and, you swish your brush. I was reading online that you should never run acrylic paint down your drain. So I have to learn how to dispose of acrylic paint and how to clean my brushes. I will be checking into that before I use it, because I know watercolor paint, you can rinse your brushes off in the sink and it's no big deal, but they tell you not to stick that stuff down the drain. So I'm going to be really cautious. Oh, I know. It's terrible, Penny. I think it's just when you start having a family and you start working, you forget about the fun stuff because you become so responsible. And I used to draw. I have doodles I had from my kids from way back. Rainy days, I used to sit on my mom's couch. We couldn't go outside and play. Of course, back then you didn't have the internet. So I used to take and just draw whatever knickknack I used to see on her shelf. I have a really pretty picture of a peacock I drew in black and white back in the 80s. She had these peacock pictures hanging on her wall with the tails down, and they were looking at each other in different directions. It was like a set. So one day I just sat and drew it because I didn't have nothing else to do. Yep. It's true, Candy. That's how I felt. I feel like I got away from it, and it feels weird getting back into it. I did some drawing since I started back into it, but I haven't put them up yet. But my thing is, I don't know what I like better. Like right now, my struggle is, do I literally like making the journals better, or do I like making the ephemera for the journals better? Because I actually enjoy making the ephemera. So, you have people with different areas on here. I mean, the journals are fun, but I like the ephemera better. If that makes any sense. And then as far as what I find most relaxing, I actually love to cook better than I like to create. I feel so relaxed when I'm cooking recipes in the kitchen. I love making up new stuff and cooking just different foods. I find it more relaxing. Maybe it's because I can do it in my own time. And even though I feel like I can create crafts in my own time, when you have an Etsy store, I kind of feel like I don't have nothing in it right now that I've made. But I kind of feel like there's a pressure to constantly create something, like you're on a deadline to hurry up and get it in your Etsy when you have a store, if that makes any sense. But when I'm cooking, it's no big deal because there's no pressure. I have no time limit. I have no pressure. I have all the time in the world. But sometimes I feel like crafting pushes too. Like, and I love it that people do, like they have a bunch of Facebook groups and they have all these things that you can join in. I do love that because it teaches you. But then when I feel like I'm pressured for a time limit, I get frustrated. Like I went into a live stream here right before Christmas and I loved it because I met this girl named Tina and we started talking and we ended up doing a ACT card swap, a pocket letter swap. And I loved it because there was no pressure, but then I had to get it done before Christmas. So I was kind of rushing. And I'm thinking, Tammy, what did you get yourself into? Because I had a bunch of other stuff I needed to do for Christmas, but I enjoyed it because there really wasn't a pressure on it except for to get it out by Christmas. But I'm glad we did it because it really challenged me in a while, since I haven't been challenged in a while. So I do love it when people have like classes and challenges on here. It's just I have a hard time participating because my schedule's so off. I never know, and I don't want to ever join something that I can't finish. And since I've been into the junk journal community, we did a swap on junk journals that I go into junk journals and Junk Journals Boutique. We did a swap in there and they gave us partners. That was fun. I knew nobody in this group whatsoever. I had a great partner. We had fun with the swap. They gave you a list of everything you needed to do. And then you took a picture of it and of course showed it. And then, when you shipped it to make sure you're going to do it. And it was a lot of fun. And I did it once, but it was a lot. Like we had to do die cuts and all this different stuff. And I kind of panicked because I didn't have a die cut machine yet. And I remember hitting on another crafter and I was like, what the heck is this? Because the list opened up more. I didn't see the read more. And it opened up to a bunch more items. Like, I don't even have a die cut machine. So somebody did help me through that. Like I had to order some die cuts off of eBay to get it done, what I needed to get. But it ended up being a really fun swap. So it is fun to participate in some things that people do schedule. It's just really hard for me at times if I don't have like a month to do it. But I cannot create as fast as some of these people do on journals. I can't do it. When I bring a good journal out of myself, I feel like some of these people will lay out, 10 different books. They do it all the same way with different papers. When I do my journals, none of them look alike. Like it takes me like 5 months or longer to get a proper journal out. I don't know how these people whip them up so fast. I can't do it. And I'm working on one right now. It's going to take me forever to get it finished. Every one I've done so far, I've sold. I did a Holly Hobby one out of fabric. I did, it was one for Valentine's Day that was a lot of fun. And it had watercolors in it and stuff. Like every single one of mine are so different. And but it took me a long time. Yes. It's like, I can't do it. I've seen I have one of Jessica's books. I can't do it. I can't do them that fast. And then it's hard too, because like I never could do a deadline. Like I could never work on a deadline. I would go nuts. But when I sit down, do you ever feel like you get so caught up that the hours just fly by and you don't want to stop till it's finished, but you have to take a break because there's no way you could possibly do it? Like, I just feel like my artistic, like when I want to draw, it's because I'm in the mood to draw. I can't just sit down and tell myself, okay, I'm going to draw today. I have to be in the mood to do it. So like when I started working on this journal that I'm working on, I'm definitely going outside of my zone with this next journal. It's even going to have a name. It is surprising me how spectacular it's turning out. I'm so excited about this journal. But I'm combining scrapbooking digital with scrapbooking real world into like the real feeling stuff, textures and stuff into this particular journal. It's going to have the best of all of me in it. But it is going to take me forever. It took me, I can't even remember the date I started on it, but it's about 3 months just to finish the cover. Because when I sit, I want to do it. And then I want to do so much. And then when I can't do anymore, like I'll literally sit up and I'll be like so nauseous, like, Tammy, you got to lay down and sleep because I'm getting nauseated. So then I put it aside. Then I'll wait and I'll start working on something else just to take a break from it for a little bit. And then I go back to it and I'll work on it some more. But there is no way this journal is going to be done. I could never do a journal like this in like 3 months. Yep. Because my husband, he's like, he watched me do a couple Christmas ones. They were just file folder ones. But they turned out really pretty because it was the first time I'd ever made one out of file folders. And I just was up until daylight came in and the birds were chirping. I just couldn't stop. Like I just wanted to get a certain part of it done. And that's what's hard for me, is having that freedom to just start and not have no other obligations. But I do have other obligations because my dog's going to go to the bathroom and she's got to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like I have certain things that's on a schedule. So it makes it hard when I'm interrupted, because when I get a flow, I'll be looking at the clock. Oh my gosh, my dog hasn't been out to pee and she hasn't come and got me, because usually she will. She'll come and let me know when she's got to go to the bathroom. But it's like sometimes I've worked like through the time she needed to go, like an hour past. It's like my poor dog's sitting over there doing a pee-pee dance. And it does. It flies. You're right. It flies. Oh, I believe it, Penny. I believe it. And then I don't want to quit on this journal because I don't want to get sick of it either. But I made a custom one for someone. It took me 5 months to get it done. I literally would have to put it down, and then I would think, and I do better with customs, especially if I know the person, because I know their favorite things. I tend to do better with those journals than just trying to guess how to make a random journal and think it'll sell on Etsy. It makes it very difficult. And then it's really hard because if you you start doing a journal and you're doing it all your favorite things. I don't know how people let go of those journals because I would want to keep it. And I know that there's a lot of people on here when you listen to all the other crafters. I think it's amazing because there's some crafters that don't journal. They like making them and giving them away and selling them or whatever for giveaways and stuff, but they enjoy them, but they don't want to use them. And I only had that happen to me once. Most of the journals I made, like the Holly Hobby one, of course, I made a double because I definitely wanted to keep one because I love Holly Hobby. But the second one that I did, I think I kept one of the Valentines. I made a double. They're different, but the same. Like it was the same fabric, but the insides were a little different because I do try to make originals. I kept one Valentine one Holly Hobby one, and then I'm still not done with that Holly Hobby one. It's not finished yet. The Valentine one's done, but I haven't used them yet. And then one I was doing, it was a series. I was doing them for a fundraiser. I absolutely fell in love with the second one and I couldn't part with it. And I did use it. It's done used. But it turned out really nice. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't sell this. It's got all my favorite things in it. I put horses in it, all my favorite stuff in it. And I didn't want to get rid of it because I did that. But I also know that when you put some of your favorite things in it, that's what makes it so special to sell. Like because when you put what you're passionate about, that's what makes a journal look good. But that's what I'm afraid won't sell. Like that I won't want to get rid of. I just find it really hard. So I'll probably be one of those type of crafters. I'll have to pet it for a little bit and then let it go. Because I think you pour your heart and everything into it and all your visions. And it's like really hard to let something like that go. I don't know how painters and people do it. I don't. I sit here and ask myself that question all the time. Is how do people create this stuff? And then there's like, okay, I put all these hours, all this night, and I'm, don't even eat because I forget to have dinner. And then I'm going to sell it to someone. It's a lot of work. See, I love to journal. Candy, 4 dogs. I have one that just interrupts me. But yeah, I do love writing and then putting pictures and stuff in. And I will be showing all the journals I use for 2020 soon. I just got to finish getting pictures off my camera. I got to sit down and run them off and then put them in so that I can finish my Christmas journal. But when I do a holiday journal, because people were telling me they don't like to do holidays. My specific opinion on that is I bought a Christmas journal just for the month of December. And when you see what I did with it, I really loved the layout the creator put into this. I did not make this one. I bought it off of a random Etsy seller who happened to have a YouTube channel, and I'm getting to know her now. And I was really impressed because usually it's about 50 pages in a journal front and back that I like having in like a Valentine's I would use for the whole month of February. I only like my holidays for a month. I don't like when my Christmas ones run over to January. So what I try to do is I'll fill it out with writing for the whole month of December. And then the pages I left blank, I fill in with pictures of my grandkids and other things that I did because I do save up some items. But I like to randomly write and then go back and fill in the pages that I didn't use with pictures and stuff. That's how I do my holiday ones. But I only want it for the month of December. So I started this, and it was really cool because the person that designed it, she put a envelope of ephemera with it, and she had the countdowns like the Advent. She had 1 to 25 to Christmas as little circles, and I used those as part of the dates when I wrote into the journal, and I absolutely loved that because then after the 25th, of course, I had to write in the 26th to the 31st, and I did all the writings in it, but it was really cool to see her little number in place of the date of that day. So I just loved it. I loved the whole layout of how she did it, and it was just perfect because it was just enough for the month. There wasn't a bunch of extra pages left over. It was perfect. And that's how I like to utilize the holidays. So for the month of February, I would probably use a Valentine's for that whole month, but I only want just that amount of pages. And then my birth month, I chose Safrina's going to be so happy. Rang to Life that comes in here. She's from the UK. I met her through Etsy because I randomly go down Etsy in the month of November, and I would just randomly pick. I have no clue who these people are. I randomly pick something that catches my eye and resonates with something that's my taste, and I purchase it. Then I do a YouTube video opening it and going through a flip through, and then I go back to the person and I send them the video link and say, hey, I bought this out of your store. I did a YouTube video on it because I like meeting people from Etsy that way, because I feel like Etsy advertisement doesn't get out there enough. So that's how I do it. And I've met some really amazing people through YouTube, and not on YouTube, through their Etsy stores. And so Safrina, when I had went to her channel, I fell in love with her, not only journals she had done. I love her dangles. She does beaded dangles. And so as I got to know her, she did 2 custom for me besides the one that's on the journal and the one off. And I really love the style of her journal. And that's the one I started for the month of January, and it's going to be through my birthday. She hangs her dangles like where some people would do a crocodile hole and they'll put like a claw or something. Oh, see, I'm talking about her and she comes in. I love how you did the ring. She put a ring on hers with a circle, and her dangles hang from that. And I really loved how you did that in the spine of your book. But yes, I did. I picked your journal for January 1st. This is Safrina here. And I have the dangles she made me, and she will custom make them if you pick them out. I thought I had your dangles beside my computer. I keep moving stuff around and I keep losing it. But I will show, you will see her journal either as I'm working on it, if I get it down here, or or next year. But hers will be in it. Yes, I'm talking about you. But she custom made me 2 more dangles, and all I had to do was tell her my favorite colors and my favorite animals. I can't find your dangles. I misplaced them again. See, I brought some more down here in the store, and I moved stuff around. I don't know where I put them again. I keep losing your stuff. Or I would show them again, because I love these dangles. They're beautiful. But she put a black horse head in one because I love my horses, and she did beads and blues. It's just her beads were gorgeous. Every time I talk about her, she shows up. I swear. Her ears have to be burning. But she had a denim one, and it is beautiful. I love hers. Is the only denim one I have. And another person that I really love that creates journals on here is Danny. She does beautiful journal work. I have one of hers too. I bought a long time ago. I hope YouTube didn't unsubscribe me from her channel again, because it did it like 3 times in a week. I hate YouTube sometimes. Yeah, because I haven't seen her pop up lately. Her channel's Junk Journals and More. No, I'm still subscribed. Thank goodness. Junk Journals and More. This is Danny's channel. And I love her work. She does beautiful journals. And she did one that resonated with me because I never had any like childhood ones, but I love the Care Bears. And she did one in Care Bears, which you'll see because it was one of the ones I used last year. It is absolutely gorgeous. And she sent a ton of stuff to go with it. I love Care Bears. Care Bears are just awesome because of all the blue. But I do have one of hers. But I try to do random people. The most I ever bought off of somebody came from Australia. Of course, I have more of JD's journals than anybody's journals because I love her textures and colors and because we have that blue thing going on. But she was my first junk journaler I had ever bought a junk journal from. And I have a lot of hers. I love JD's work. So I have hers, but then everybody has their own thing. And another person I like too is Linda. I haven't seen her in here. She's LL Creation Studio or something like that's the name of her channel. She does beautiful journals too, but sometimes, and I mean, and not to be ignorant, but sometimes they get to be too big or too expensive too. Oh my goodness. My husband's spying on me. That Mikey M is my hubby, people. You can torture him. I allow you. This was just a random, I wanted to do a Christmas glue book page in my glue book rang. So I didn't think I had any Christmas stuff around me. And I was looking at envelopes down here. This all came off of envelopes. Christmas envelopes. See, I've been cutting them up. So if I seen a sticker or a picture on a Christmas envelope, I just cut it and stuck it in there. Isn't that cool? I kind of like that happy holidays too. I cut pieces off of everything. I use random stuff. I like scrapbooking paper. I like digitals. I like junk mail. I love playing with junk mail and pulling stuff off of this stuff. Oh, Candy, wait till you see this journal. Oh, her Care Bear journal is gorgeous, what she did with it. Who in the heck was it? Oh, and I have a must video. It's right now it's set on private because I uploaded a few. But if you ladies love ephemera and you get the chance to watch one of my videos that's coming up soon, I could post it tomorrow. It's the one that's titled, this one caught me off guard. Or maybe it'll be next week. I don't see that on private yet. I thought I uploaded it. Hold on, let me check. Yes. When you see Sunny Fun Time mail from Storage Auction Pirate come up, you guys got to watch it if you're sentimental. I was really shocked because I'm also a part of Locker Nuts channel. I'm actually a registered member of their channel because you have to be registered to bid on their auctions, because what they do is they buy up storage auctions of people who have passed away or haven't paid their bills or whatever, and they resell their stuff on their channels. And I really, really love this group of people. Jana and Jack are a married couple who do Locker Nuts. And then you have Mike, who is Jack's uncle, who runs Storage Pirate auctions. And I got a set of ephemera, like sometimes there's stories with the lockers. And people have different opinions on it. Like, I kind of had a lady come at me in Locker Nuts comment section because I feel differently. Everybody has their own opinions about things. And, there was a lady that like came at me in the comment section saying something like, how could you sit here and watch this, know this person died and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I have a heart, lady, but this is how I feel. Would you rather see this person's stuff end up in a dump, or would you rather it find a home? Because me personally, at the end of the day, if I died tomorrow and my family didn't want my belongings, I would rather see it sold off to people who want it and who would use it than it to end up in a landfill. I'd be devastated. I'd be rolling in my grave. I mean, no offense, but that's how I look at it. It's just stuff. You can't take it with you. So you know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. I understand that the stories are sad. Sometimes they don't know if the person died. Sometimes they don't know what the stories are, but sometimes they do. And it's been very interesting lately, some of the stories that have been coming up, because one of the lockers that they got, if you watch their channel, it's very interesting. It was a CIA. The guy was CIA, literally. They found all kinds of information. He was also on the front of a magazine. And it was really sad because him and his wife were killed in a car accident on the way to their son's wedding. How devastating is that? Like, there is real stories that come out of these lockers, and they're amazing because the people who were in the CIA, the married couple, I'm telling you what, he was so awesome at recording everything. I have no clue what camera this guy used, but even though the pictures were in black and white, they were so crisp and so clear and so beautifully done. And when they auction off their lots, of course, that went over my head. I can't afford the prices they have on there sometimes because they have a lot of big buyers there. Like, they have a lot of eBay sellers and people who are really got the money. I can't pay $200 for a family photograph book, but it is what it is. So I like just going to watch just to learn and hear. But I couldn't get a piece of that particular locker because it was just way out of my spending zone. But I did get a piece of this one other person. And I was shocked when I got the ephemera because I actually ended up with the man's wallet. And when you watch the video, it even touched me. Like, it was really hard to keep the tears at bay when I started pulling stuff out of this man's wallet, because I didn't know that's the story that one came from. But I will tell it. It's told in the video. But I'm so glad that it ended up in my hands because I know it's not going to end up in a landfill. And it's just cool because you can share stuff. That's the whole point of why I've got ephemera from some of these lockers when I can afford it. And people don't come in and outbid me, because believe me, they're a tough crowd. They're nothing like our sales. Everybody complains over here about prices. You sit in Locker Nuts and you watch the prices there. It's way over my head sometimes. They sell cassettes. They sell video CDs, DVDs, T-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And this one locker was so amazing. I don't know about you all, but I never went into just a record store as a kid. Like, I've seen like stores that had like a record section, but not like a complete record store. And one of the lockers they ended up with was just that. I have never seen albums shaped like butterflies. It was the most amazing lot I've ever seen in my life. Because, when you own a record store, you would get promotional items to hang on the wall and stuff like that to make your record store look good. It was amazing, the stuff that they pulled out of this locker. I was like, oh my gosh, that record's like purple. It's a butterfly. I've never seen anything like it. And of course, Locker Nuts is in California, so they're closer to more famous people. So you're going to see a different variety of items. So, but it was so amazing. They're such an amazing couple. And sometimes when they have locker nut. I have a locker nut t-shirt. I have, my husband has one. I love this. I'm telling you, I love them. And so when you go in there, and sometimes, like if you've been in their stream, you support their stream, they threw in free t-shirts. My husband got a free t-shirt from them for Christmas. That's how giving this couple is. Even though their prices might be high in their auctions, they will bring stuff down at times for people who've been around or late at night. I'm telling you guys, you're missing out if you don't watch Locker Nuts. They're amazing. And it's just amazing, some of these things that come out of these lockers. You would just be so shocked. I love going to their auctions. They're long sometimes, but they are so much fun, and the people are so friendly. And I remember the very first time I went into their stream, my husband had been hurt. And alrighty, you take care, Rang. Sweet dreams. But I went in there when my husband got hurt, and I couldn't register. Like, I didn't want to be locked into anything that come out monthly, like a monthly payment of anything. Like, I dropped BoxyCharm. I was in a bunch of different things, and I dropped them all because I was afraid, if something happened to my husband's income, we would be hurting. So I just didn't want to be tied into anything that was like a monthly fee. So I told him, I'm like, I'm here and I can't really bid on anything, but I like the company. I said, I really enjoy your stream. And I said, but my husband got hurt because some of the people were saying, when I kept saying, oh my, I like that. And they would be like, well, register. And, and I said, well, I can't right now. I have to wait. Well, one of the guys asked me why. And I told him, I said, well, my husband was hurt and I can't lock myself into anything. Even if it's $1 a month, I can't do it. Cause that's all it is a 99-cent fee a month, and you get a lock by your name. And they do that to weed out trolls. They want to make sure that they're not going to get stuck with things, because you don't get like time to pay. As soon as you auction that night, you pay them right then and there when you win the auction. They don't wait around for money. So that's how they keep because that's his business. That's what he actually does for a living. So that's why they do it this way, which I don't blame them. So the one guy, he bid on something, and then he turned around and he said, gift it to Tammy. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. He says, no, I want to. This is how sweet these people are. So he's like, well, I know what it's like, with your husband being hurt. And I'm like, well, that's not why I told you guys. It's just I can't get locked in. So this is what he wanted, and he sent me. And I'm turning this in as part of my craft room. It was an Indian weaved basket, hand weaved basket that they found in a locker. So he bid on it and he sent it to me as a gift. And I'm turning this into like a button holder. This will be something that holds something crafty in my store. But I thought that was so nice of this guy that didn't even know me. And he did this. I thought that was so sweet. So when you go into a stream and you feel that welcome, you definitely got my loyalty. And I never left. I stayed with them. And then when everything got back to normal with me and my husband, I actually joined. And this is Locker Nuts. This is Jack. He has, their stickers are so cute once you become members, because he's got one of him and his wife. And you get like a sticker when you order stuff. They're just an amazing couple. They're a lot of fun to watch. Their daughter comes down. She shows her kitty cat. But I really love that channel just because they made me feel so welcome from the first day I went in there. I felt like this is where I belong. When you get that kind of a feeling when you go into a live stream, then you know it's a good channel. And I've had a lot of fun with them since. And she loves Shirley Temple. So for Christmas this year, because they were so nice to me when I went in, I found a photo of Shirley Temple at our vintage mall, and I bought it for Jana for Christmas. And I mailed it to her. She was so excited when she opened it. But they're fun. They're a lot of fun. But I believe their auctions are on Monday nights. But sometimes they do them random too, though. But I love them. Love them. Oh, well, thank you, Rang. I hope that's how everybody feels, because I do want everybody to feel welcome when they come in. I ran a chat room on Yahoo for 6 years, and I got a lot of feedback from people on the web. And of course, you have your troublemakers, but that's everywhere. The feedback mostly that I got back from, you know, the people that came to visit our chat room was that they were felt welcome. We were, you know, said hello as soon as we came in. I listen to what people say. I will never go into a chat room. Yeah, I might say hello to everyone, but then I individually hit people because I don't know who's all in there, you know, what scrolled up before I've gotten there. So some I don't want to miss. I'll say hello to everybody, but then I try to go down the list to make every individual feel welcome, because that was something I was taught through chat. Your texters are so important, even more important than the talkers. And I noticed, like, and I'm not saying this to bash any channels. I'm just saying this because some channels might not know this because they don't have the experience. But like on YouTube, I've been into ones where they'll have 5 or 6 people on their channel. They don't pay attention to any of their texters. They only talked amongst each other on the panel, and they're not paying attention to their room. Well, they have to understand your texters is what makes your room flow. The people that are taking their time out and they're putting text in the room and they're fighting, because I know what it's like, trying to hurry up and get everything in before a person closes the room down, or I'm fighting trying to type with osteoarthritis and trying to get out. Like Candy's been in here. She's been putting paragraphs in here, and that takes some talent. When you are on here and you're putting that much effort in to talk to people, that means a lot. And I actually appreciate the texters even more than the talkers because of that reason. And I noticed even in chat, it was like that. Like they would have people get into clicks and then they wouldn't pay attention to other people. And it was sad because those rooms never lasted. People want to feel welcome. And that was the feedback that I always got, you know. And I had a guy from Tennessee tell me one time, he said, I was in my state chat room. I had been in 5 different chat rooms. Not one person would say hello. He said, I come into your chat room, it's clear up your screen. That's because we all hung out together because we were all the same like-minded type of people, to where we all felt, you know, everybody needed to be welcome. So my texters were just as welcoming as people that was on the microphone. But that's all the feedback. Like I always listened to people when we were in chat, when they talked about stuff like that, because that's the whole point. It's social media. You're here to be social. So if you're ignoring people, that's not being social. So that's my preference. So you get to hear my speech tonight. But that's how I feel about it. And sometimes I just feel like some people can be rude. When you go in, you say hi to people and you take that time and they just ignore you. I'm like, really? I mean, sometimes you might be looking and then look away and it happens. And but I mean, like every single time you run into that person, if they don't say something to you, I think that's just wrong. But I do know that some people are busy, like they're crafting, they'll look up, or they're selling and they'll look up. And sometimes you can't. But when you're like me, just sitting here and all I'm doing is this, I will make the time to make people feel welcome, because that's how I want to feel when I go into a live stream. But it is nice getting feedback from people, you know. You learn as you grow. I got this from somebody in the UK too. I can't remember. It was a random Etsy shop that had this little horse head with a hat on it. I love this. I love this charm. But I look for different things. And I think that's another reason why I love Paper and Moose too. She really puts her heart into her channel, and you can tell. And as far as February goes, I'll start doing the book videos. I will not be doing the book videos for the rest of my life. They're only going to be here until my store gets emptied, some because I need the space and I need to get these books out of here. But I'm trying to find homes for them first. So they get posted in YouTube videos, whatever I'm having for sale, and then they go into the marketplace on Facebook, and then what doesn't gets donated. And I even donated a whole box of books to Defy. I sent Care a whole bunch of books that were not glued in, things that would be easy to make junk journals out of if they wanted to do kits with them. I've done that. Like, I always do stuff behind the scenes too, just to downsize. But I'm hanging on to my bookstore long enough to get the books out of here, because I thought about shutting it down and just having an Etsy store. But the bad thing is, as long as I have my store name to hide behind, I don't get picked up as spam on the marketplace and Facebook. If you're just a regular poster on Facebook, sometimes they'll say, oh, that's just too many books, you're spamming, blah, 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 blah. This way, behind my bookstore, they can't say that. So I'm hanging on to the name until I get my store emptied. So it's more for a liquidation purpose. And then once I get this liquidated, I'm going to change my Facebook page name from Minda's Bookstore to Tammy's Crafty Shop, and it is going to become towards my Etsy. And then that way I don't have to upload videos 5 days a week. I'm only doing that to get rid of the books. I can literally manage my time better, have more time to craft, and I can take and do like a couple videos a week if I want to. I don't have to do them 5 days a week and commit, because it's wearing me out, people. I have over 1,000 videos posted on YouTube because of the bookstore. But I just don't want to be a 5-day-a-week poster, because I feel like I'm not getting enough time to watch everybody else's channel, because I'm putting so much into mine to try to get rid of the books. But I definitely am enjoying it for the purpose of reaching out to people who might not have the books or looking for books, because I have older, new, but I don't have like the fantastic books we like at our sales as crafters. I don't have like the 1,800 books with a bunch of images. That's not what's in my store. It's more for readers or people who want to tear books apart and turn them into journals. But there's not a lot of illustrations in the books I have except the magazines. So off and on, you'll be seeing me show genres. So my month of February, it's going to be romance books. I don't know what for March, maybe action, suspense. I don't know. Whatever I decide to pick for the month. You have clear to the end of the month to buy the books if you're interested. If not, they go bye-byes, because I can't keep them. I set off a plastic tote of books I could possibly turn into journals that don't sell if nobody's interested, because they're falling apart and I like the covers. The other tote, I save a few, like I think I have like maybe three boxes in another tote that'll go into the community yard sale of books that I think might sell locally that people will read, and the rest go out the door. I always got to have stuff back for the community yard sale though. But I have a lot of books to go through yet. A whole lot. Too many. Some days I sit here and look at this and I think, am I going to make it before I die? That's how many books I have in boxes yet. I mean, it looks like a lot to me, but once I get the flow going, I have emptied almost one room now from last few months. So I'm doing good. The bathroom down here in the bookstore is almost empty because we had a leak in the back garage, so I had to pull everything in. So my bathroom got piled up with boxes. I mean, you can go to the bathroom and wash your hands and stuff, but it's just got a path. And I got that almost gone. So I think there's maybe like 3 boxes in there left. And then as soon as that's cleaned out, I can scrub the floor, and I'm going to scrub the room down. And then I'm going to set some totes in it to continue dividing the genres to do the videos. That's my goal this year. Get rid of books. So if you see anything, you let me know. You can even weasel some prices. I mean, I'm just putting out what I feel is there. A lot of them I'm selling for $2, $2.50, $1. Sometimes I've even done, I don't know. I have Hardic ones. I'll put out like 10 for $1. You just never know what I'm going to have on my channel, but I try to do everything cheap because I'm just trying to get rid of these books. And I hate the thought of them in the landfill. That's why I started my bookstore in the first place. It was never about the money. It was about saving as many books as possible. And some of them are in too good a shape they're like brand new, look like they've only been read once. And I really hate the thought of recycling them, but it is what it is. They either end up at the Salvation Army, the Goodwill, or there's a thrift store, but 2 of them aren't taking any more books, believe it or not. We have a Salvation Army that's not taking any books. And we have a thrift store at St. Vincent's de Paul that's not taking any books either because they're overloaded. So I'm taking them to whoever will take them. I try all the different places and then I drop them off, and I usually do a vehicle load when I go to do it just to get them out of here. My husband's like, I could get a dump truck in here and get them. I said, no, you're not, because you're not taking them to the dump. But it'll work out. But everything's downstairs in my bookstore area. Like all the books I have upstairs are my personal collection, but all the books down here are the ones I'm getting rid of. So if you're ever in the need of anything, like, say, for instance, I might have some thesauruses and some dictionaries, but it's such a variety. I have medical aid encyclopedia down here I'm looking at. The doctor book of food remedies. Some of them books that are out of date, they do make really great journals or scrapbooks or glue books. But it is what it is. And then I had these work baskets. I put these out like for $1 a piece, and I think some of them I could even do them for $1. I mean, it is what it is. Those are I'm going to put in a box, and I'm going to put them in the community yard sale. If nobody, because I did post a bunch of videos, nobody seemed interested. So I'll stick them in that for that reason. But then if nobody buys them at the community yard sale, I ended up getting rid of them anyways. But that's what I've been doing. That's my goal this year. Nothing spectacular. That and just spending time with family. For the most part. Did you guys like my decal? I got this decal out of an Etsy store, and I decided to decorate my cutting board over here. I'm enjoying it. I like having a horse in the center of it. I think that's so cool. But anyways, my doggy's probably upstairs doing the pee-pee dance, so I'm going to have to go take care of her. And I thank all of you that come in tonight because I always enjoy your company. I always enjoy our conversations. But with that, I think I'm ready to go away. I think I'm done for the evening. So whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a great one. And I will see you soon. Bye.